Hey, it's Mike. How you doing? Let's see. Oh, I got people in the chat already. Wow. Hey, how you doing? I got hello and howdy everyone. Yes, good to see you. Okay, so hey, I'm here and I'm going to talk about this a very popular topic in the Hare Krishnas, which is the sex. And it's going to be funny because coming from the Hare Krishnas. Now, I haven't heard a lecture, and I don't like to really play too much of these Hare Krishnas talking because it does affect me, and I don't like hearing too much of their shit. But I do want to give you. I want to give those of you out there that don't know anything about it. I want to give you a little bit of see exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, how you doing? I saw you were live today, and you were out there and you found some Scientologists in the wild, which is always interesting. But I want to get right into it, so I do want to do the opening. So let's get right to this.
Hello?
Hello.
All right, so yeah, hey, we're gonna get right to it. Hey, yeah, it is pretty fancy, isn't it? So, but yeah, hey, I saw what you were out there doing today, and that was great tracking them down. Let's see, hey, Red Dahlia, hey, hello, how you doing? Great to see you. So, this cult is there's so much child abuse and domestic abuse and the treatment of women, and along with everything else, just all the other mental abuse and everything. And a lot of it stems from their whole philosophy. It just causes mental illness, and a lot of it stems from women like to be raped. Women are less intelligent. Women have small brains. You're in a material body, but you're a spirit soul, and you're in the material world, but you really belong in the spiritual world. And it's just a whole mind fuck. So, yeah, it's always. I mean, I do it when I'm out in the wild, and I'm like, oh, I see the beads, and I see the bag, and I'm like, oh, and but I don't confront them though, because I'm a guest in another country, so I can't cause problems. But I do take note of where and when I see them in the wild. So, but I do want to share a little bit about these crazy people and their views of sex and their views of women and their views of everything of the world, and so you can kind of get an idea of where they're coming from and why it's so dangerous and why it's so harmful and why I'm speaking out so much. So one thing is these guys, these gurus, they think that they are you're a citizen now, so you can be it's believe if I was back home in LA, I would be right down there with all at the Scientology building. I mean, that's where I'm from. I'm from LA, so all the Scientology protesting that's going on is right in my backyard. So I would be down on Hollywood Boulevard. I'd be on Sunset Boulevard. I would be right there. But unfortunately, I'm somewhere else. So, but I get to do this. So this is really great. And but these characters, I had one up here, but anyway, it's this guy. this is in LA of all places, right? This is in LA, and very much needed topic. This is the root of all evil in this cult. It really is. It's definitely, and this is how they spread it, is through these lectures and these books. It's just, and so, but I wanted to show you how they preach and how they talk about women and sex. And I haven't even watched this because I don't need to. I'm going to watch it. We're going to watch it together. But I already know. I mean, I can already tell what it's about. And those of you that have been in the cult, you know what's coming too. But it's this guy. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, it's a commercial, so good thing. Good thing I don't have my shit together. Let's see. But we're gonna you have any questions or anything? Definitely ask me. I'm gonna have questions and I'm gonna have answers. I'm gonna have all that. And let's see.
Now, right now, I want to ask my questions now, and I want to have my answers now. You hear?
Yes, exactly. We want to ask our questions. We want our answers. And so here it comes. Here's this guy, and I don't know who this guy is, but evidently he's a big preacher in ISKCON, in the Krishna cult. He's he's a disciple. I think he's a disciple of Rod. I'm not going to use a Krishna name. Dickie Slavin. He's a disciple of Dickie Slavin, who's a disciple of Keith Ham, who's a disciple of Prabhupada. So that's this guy's lineage. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being connected, thinking that you're connected to God through these characters, these freaking characters? Can you believe that? It's at that in itself is pure insanity. So let's see what this guy's got to say.
From Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 31, text number 39. The chapter is entitled The Movements of the Living Entities, text number 39. Please repeat. Sangam Nakur.
Okay, you know what? We're not going to do that whole thing. Let's see. Oh, something went wrong. They took their video down or something. I don't know what happened. I found it and it was working. He was talking and then it just ended. Let's see. Oh, I'm so disappointed in that. I guess they didn't want me to watch this video and comment on it. I don't know why it says that. It is such a weird I don't know. I'm gonna try and find it over here. Here it is. Let's try it again. I don't know. Oh, here we go. But I don't want to do the whole singing and all of that. We're just gonna get to him talking. Oh, he's got the. Okay, here we go.
Generally, conditioned souls have lost their Atma or self, but those who are transcendentalists have realized the self. It is directed that such a self-realized soul who aspires to the topmost platform of yogic perfection should not associate with young women. In the modern age, however, there are so many rascals who recommend that while one has genitals, he should enjoy women as much as he likes, and at the same time he can become a yogi. In no standard yoga system is the association of women accepted. It is clearly stated here that the association of women is the gateway to hellish life. The association of women is very much restricted in the Vedic civilization. Out of the 4 social divisions, the brahmachari, vanaprastha, and the sannyasi, 3 orders, are strictly prohibited from the association of women. Only the grahasthas or householders are given license to have an intimate relationship.
Okay. Okay, so we're like, not even at the very beginning. He hasn't even started talking yet. He's just reading from Prabhupada's books, and he's always talking about how women should be avoided. And women are the gateway to sinful life, or whatever it is he says, and prohibited from the association of women. Only one class of men is allowed to associate with women. Rascals say that men should enjoy with women. And when he's saying enjoy with women, he's not talking about being a pimp or a prostitute or something like that. He's just talking about just associating with women. Like, men should not have anything to do with women unless they just want to have a wife and a child, and that's only for a short time. Then they go on to reject the woman and the child and go off to the forest to be a monk or a sannyasi or whatever you want to call it, a vanaprastha, or at the end of their life they just go and be by themselves. That's what they're supposed to do. These guys don't do it, but this is what they preach. This is what they preach day and night in their books. I mean, we're 3 minutes in. This is 3 minutes into this video, actually, because I'm at the 3-minute mark, and he's already talking about how women should just be avoided completely in life.
Restricted for begetting nice children. If, however, one wants to stick to continued existence in the material world, he may indulge in female association unrestrictedly. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Hare Hare Krishna.
I don't want to hear all that.
Srila Prabhupada once again.
Okay, here you go.
This series. In the previous verse, he spoke about Julius Caesar and being captivated by Cleopatra. And here also he's speaking about the dangers of unrestricted sex life and objectifying women. So this energy, Srila Prabhupada has often spoken about very emphatically, the energy of lust. And for a sadhaka, for us as ISKCON devotees, it's not simply a moral problem. For those who are not spiritualists, in the sense, the conventional, wanting to get out of the material world types, they are just nice people, pious people, God-fearing people. For them, lust is a moral problem. Oh, I shouldn't think of anyone other than my partner. I should be chaste to my wife and my husband. So that's where it is. But for sadhaka,
okay, now the insanity. First off, the insanity is here's a guy who's in a cult who dresses like this in orange, which means he has no association with women. He believes this philosophy, or no, it's not even a philosophy. It's just a superstitious belief that he should not have any association with women. And he's going to sit there and lecture and explain sex and lust and love when he doesn't even know how to experience that. Through the books of a man who could not experience love, a loving relationship with his wife and children, whose own wife didn't love him, he didn't love her. He said many times, I didn't love my wife. Going down through Keith Ham, who was abusing children abusing little boys in Vrindavan through his disciple, through this guy. These psychos are interpreting this sexist literature and then going to sit there and explain it and preach it to innocent people who just don't even know what's going on. And now they're sitting there and they're hearing about how women don't associate with women. Better not to have anything to do with women. But what experience do you have with women? What loving relationship have you had with a woman? Who are you to sit there and give life advice or love advice or sex advice or explain the material world? When you sit there and believe these stories where demon heads, invisible demon heads, are eating the moon during an eclipse. If you can't even come to the understanding that there's no demon head eating the moon, that the moon is there's a shadow being. If you can't understand these simple concepts, how can you understand the complex issues of loving exchanges between a man and a woman? You can't understand the simple idea of the moon during an eclipse, and you're going to sit there and lecture about how a man and a woman can come together in a loving relationship and what that entails?
It's not simply a moral problem. It's a spiritual challenge. Even with one's own legitimate wife, husband, we have to transcend the need, the desire for sex life. So it's all the more important.
See, he's missing out on a pretty he's missing out on being, he's missing out a lot. He's missing out on a lot. And a lot of that is he's missing out on his own experience. Like, he doesn't even know the joy of falling in love with a woman and having a woman fall in love with him. He doesn't even see sex as an expression of love between two people. He sees it as something else. What did he just say? What did he just say about sex?
Wife, husband, we have to transcend the need, the desire for sex life.
So he says, even between a husband and a wife, we have to transcend the need or the want to have sex life. Why? Why does a man and woman have to deny their loving, emotional, and sexual desires and needs and expressions to each other? Why? Because it gets in the way of your chanting your magic words, or it gets in the way of reading Prabhupada's books and your selling of Prabhupada's books and your dancing and singing. Why can't a man and a woman just fall in love, be together, enjoy, like in a Catholic church or in a Christian church, a man and woman, they go to the church, they sit together, and they just sit there, they do whatever they do it together. Why in the Hare Krishna temple do the men have to be separated? Why? You can't even sit next to a woman. And then you have to wear your orange clothes that symbolizes the fact that you have nothing to do with women. That's like me walking around with a sign that says, I don't have anything to do with women. And I just walk around carrying the sign all day that says, I don't have anything to do with women. Because that's what he's doing. He's got this orange suit on that says, I don't have anything to do with women. In fact, I really look down on women. That I'm not strong enough to control my sexual desires or my urges to even be around women. I'm supposed to be in control of my senses, right? I'm supposed to be a swami, or I'm supposed to be dressed in orange, which means I'm supposed to be in control of myself, and I don't have any sexual desires. I'm supposed to be in control of that. But yet, I'm scared of being around a woman because I could lose control, and who knows? So who's really in control? Are you in control if you can't be around women? Or are you in control when you are around women and you're not grabbing them and feeling them up and having all kinds of weird thoughts. Like when I'm out in public, I'm just out in public. I go to the mall, I go to the market, I go wherever, and I'm not freaking out over like sexual ideas and thoughts and weird, creepy things. That doesn't happen. But I guess for him it does, because if he gets near a woman, all of a sudden he starts creeping out and having weird, creepy. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but it must be like that. It must be like that for him, because he can't be around women. He's got to be in orange, and I don't talk to women. I don't associate with women. I don't hang around women, only to preach to them. I'll if you have a question, I'll answer it. But I don't want to, I don't get, And you're going to sit there and talk about sex and lust when you can't control yourself around women because you don't want them around you. If you don't want them around you, or you don't want to be around them, who's really in control? Obviously, you're out of control. Dude, you're out of control if you can't, if you're so lusty that you're afraid to be around women, that you got to put on an orange suit that declares yourself, I got to wear a sign that says, I don't fuck with women, I don't mess with women, and I look down on them. I mean, I guess if you really want to avoid women having anything to do with them, the best way is to brainwash yourself into thinking that women are horrible people. Then why would you want to be around them? If you have to convince yourself that women are evil and deceitful and lying and lusty and this and that, and they just want to just tear you down. Please do. Please share this video far and wide. Suppressing human nature and emotions. Yeah, and you can't. It just comes out somewhere else, like playing whack-a-mole. That's why they have all these problems. You can't do it. It's just not possible. This is how all long-time brahmacharis' eyes be looking. It's exactly this. They preach this stuff constantly. Next thing you'd be falling down, going buck wild. Yeah, it happens at 83. The guy's 83 years old, and he freaked out and had to have sex with his disciple at 83. This shit's all a bunch of bullshit.
So it's all the more important for us to courageously confront this energy and talk about it in classes, discussions. Not exactly our own individual challenge with lust, but the principle of lust needs to be discussed, because this is the greatest binding which keeps us entangled in the material world. And from my readings or discussions with different devotees, I have seen that there are many principles, of course, to understand and to face this challenge. There are 4 principles that come to my mind. First is the most important, loving emotions for Krishna. This is the ultimate way.
So first off, he said he's come to these conclusions by speaking with other devotees, obviously devotees who've had loving relationships with women, because I don't believe that he's ever had a loving relationship with a woman. Otherwise, he wouldn't be wearing that orange outfit. He probably had a relationship with a woman maybe in his early days, maybe before he joined, or maybe he didn't, or maybe he did and it failed, or maybe he did and he joined and his girlfriend didn't join, or maybe he's just never had a girlfriend. I don't know. He's not talking about it. Why doesn't he talk about, I was in love once, I had a girlfriend, I was married? He didn't say that. He said, from talking to other people, I've decided. This trash talking machine will be eating his own vomit very soon. Yeah, they all do eventually. It might take 60 years, 83 years, He ain't fooling me. He ain't fooling us. He ain't fooling some of us.
Can transcend this energy. What is that verse? Forget. Atmendriya priti vancha, Tara bole kam. Krishnendriya priti ichha, dare prema nam. So when we have a loving relationship with Krishna, we want to satisfy Krishna's senses. That's when this can be handled.
So he's saying, fall in love with an imaginary thing that doesn't exist, and then your desires for having a loving exchange, which makes you human, that'll go away. You'll no longer have normal human. You won't have normal human desires and needs and wants and emotions if you just pretend to fall in love with this imaginary thing. This imaginary guy who plays a flute, and then the sound goes into the ears of a four-headed guy who sits on a flower that's growing out of the navel of a four-armed guy who's laying on a snake, who's really his brother, who's laying on an ocean of milk or sweat or whatever you want to call it. So I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to go through those mental gymnastics through chanting and wearing beads and shaving my head and putting tilak on and doing all of these, getting up. I have to go through all of that to stop the sexual desires of wanting to just have a relationship with a woman. A loving relationship, sexual relationship or loving relationship, emotional attachment or whatever you want to call it with a woman or the opposite sex if you're a woman. Why not just have sex with a woman? You want me to go through all of this just to control my sexual desire, which obviously isn't controlled if your 83-year-old guru is falling down, and what to speak of all the other gurus who are having sex with their underage disciples or their sex therapists or their little boys in their school or little girls in their school or whatever they're doing. If I look at your organization as, does this work? I would have to conclude, no, it does not work. Any normal logical person would go, it doesn't work. Because how could it? How could it work? Like you may be able to sit there with your orange thing and your flowers and not want to have sex because some woman burned you when you were 18. She didn't want to go out with you or whatever. She didn't accept your burfi or your ladu, whatever it is that you wanted to give her, and she didn't want it. She rejected it. And now you're burnt and you join the Hare Krishnas and now you hate women. And so for you, not having sex is no problem. Because you're some kind of, incel. You're involuntarily celibate. Or you're celibate on purpose. You're just so messed up in the head that this fits you just perfect. But that doesn't mean that you've perfected life just because you got burned by some woman and now you have no desire to be around women. Something else is gonna happen. Something's gonna come out somewhere. Believe me.
Can be handled. That is one of my favorite lectures of Srila Prabhupada. Oh, that was given in Los Angeles, July 5, 1971. It's there on YouTube also. It's called Just Learn to Love Krishna. It's just a 15-minute talk. Of course, the YouTube video is, I think, 30 minutes because they've added another class there.
Just learn to love Krishna. That's all. I mean, ask Trivik Ram. He was loving Krishna for 60 friggin' years. And then he decides he's going to go have sex with his 35-year-old disciple. Or just ask Rameshwar. He was a guru for I don't know, 10 years. And then he decided he was going to go have sex with his underage disciple and ran off. Or ask Hari Kesh. He was a guru for I don't know how many years, 15 years, and then he decided he wanted to go have sex with his therapist, woman therapist. Or let's ask Kirtanananda, who was molesting little boys in New Vrindavan. Well, let's ask Lokanath, who's been a guru and chanting Hare Krishna for 40, 50 years, and then he gets caught touching little girls. And let's ask Indra Yumna Swami. Guy can't keep his hands off these little girls, and people stand around him like it's normal, like it's totally normal for a grown ass man like that. If that was me doing that, if I was sitting in the library and I was reading to a bunch of little kids, and I had the little girls come up to me and sit on my lap, and I'm rubbing them, and they would lock my ass up. They'd lock my ass up. This guy, he gets his feet washed, flowers thrown at him, flies around the world, people cooking his food, washing his underwear. Meanwhile, he's just traipsing from place to place so he could just run his hands all over little girls. And you're telling me that all I gotta do is just chant Hare Krishna and all my sexual desires are gonna be gone? You really want me to believe that? Bhavananda? We're not talking about just ordinary guys who, joined and then they did something bad. We're talking about the leaders of this fucking cult. The leaders of this cult that are supposed to be examples, gurus. And they can't do it. If they can't do it, what do you think what do you think these people that just joined are gonna do? The guy can't keep his hands off his disciple. The guy got his head cut off because he was fucking around with his disciple's wife. It's not like he just got his head cut off because, was in a car accident or nothing. He got his head cut off because he thought he was so friggin' spiritual and holy that he could just have sex with whoever he wanted to, which is what all these guys think. Meanwhile, they're supposed to be, I don't have sex, I'm wearing orange and I got my stick and I'm supposed to be this holy man. It's a bunch of bullshit. These guys aren't holy. This guy ain't nothing. Sit there and he's got the Indian talk down because he's Indian. He's got the mannerisms. He's got the storytelling. He's got the accent down. He's playing the part. He's cosplaying. And actually, he cosplays better than these other freaks. But he's just cosplaying as just a Hare Krishna fucking freak. He doesn't fool me for one bit. Not one bit.
But that's an amazing class. So in that 15 minutes, at least 5 to 6 times, Srila Prabhupada is saying, Krishna is so nice. Krishna is so kind. He's talking about developing loving emotions for Krishna. You know this famous pastime of that South Indian Brahmin?
Like, so what? What did he just say? He said there was a lecture. This reminds me of a lecture in 1971 where Prabhupada says that you have to develop loving emotions for Krishna. And he said it about 5 times in this one little thing, and it was so beautiful. And so what? Okay, but what does that teach me? What knowledge has it given me? What is it that's going on? Nothing. He didn't say anything. I could sit here and say, you gotta develop loving feelings for Harry Potter. You gotta have loving feelings for, Frodo or something. It makes as much sense. And when you develop loving feelings for Frodo, you'll conquer all your material desires. Will just fade away like the shaft off the wheat or the whatever he says. It's such bullshit. Like it. Hey, Ilya, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. And
read Bhagavad Gita, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells him, why are you reading? You are illiterate. And he's crying. But that Prabhupada narrates that pastime. And then, so I'm paraphrasing, exact words is, Srila Prabhupada says, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this Brahman, but I see you are not reading. You are crying. So the Brahman said, I am not crying, I am feeling. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what is that? Then Srila Prabhupada quoting is speaking on what the Brahmana is saying. He says, when I see my Krishna, he's become the chariot driver of his devotee, I think I start feeling that my Krishna is so nice. Krishna is so kind. Almost five times in this 15 minutes, Srila Prabhupada is speaking this. So he says, this is our goal. We want to love Krishna. We want to feel Krishna's love. Of course, we may say, but how do I know what Krishna wants? How can I love him? Srila Prabhupada says, you will know. How can you know to please me? Desire, you will know. So this is basically a relationship. And I've also seen, although this may not be the ideal way to chant Hare Krishna, like during japa, sometimes, I don't know if any of you ever find japa a struggle. I find many.
So this is basically, the bullshit. No matter what they talk about, no matter what it is, whether it's sex or money or illness or war or it doesn't matter. It always devolves into just chant Hare Krishna. Just chant Hare Krishna and hear the holy name and whatever. That's the remedy for everything. So it doesn't work for anything. And that's the scam. And that's basically all it is. I mean, you get right to the point.
But one of the things that really helps me overcome lethargy and sleep during japa is one amazing technique I learned from Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj. So he said, we are emotional beings. We may say human beings are rational, but rationality is just tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of emotions below. So he said, when chanting, if we can connect to emotions of someone who has helped us at some point of time in life selflessly, just thank that person and then thank Krishna for having sent that person in your life. While chanting, if we can enter that space, then that emotion.
Okay, so enough with this guy. I've had enough. I've had enough. But I do want to say that with these lectures, this is what you get all the time, and it's the same no matter what they're talking about. It's always devolves into the chanting and the sound and hearing and that kind of. It gets away from the point, where the point is, how do I handle sex desire? So you handle sex desire by chanting, just the way you handle everything else is by chanting. Just chant. But it's not helping. It's like I'm still having sex desire. Well, then you just need to chant some more. And but what you'll see here is he's going into all the different, like how you have to chant. You have to be attentive. You have to do this. You have to, so many things. When in the beginning, it's just chanting. Just chant, Prabhu. You don't have to do anything. In fact, you don't even have to chant. Just read Prabhupada's books. It's like they give you a book and they say, just read the book. And then you start to ask questions and they go, don't even really worry about that. Just keep reading. And then they're like, now just chant. And then as you start chanting, you'll start to understand the books more. And then the books will help you understand chanting more. And it's just a bunch of bullshit. Because the chanting doesn't do anything and the books don't do anything. It's just a bunch of brainwashing. And then you end up thinking that you're on this path. You're thinking that you're better than everybody. There's another video about how cults make you think you're better than everybody, which is exactly why this guy can sit on this chair and feel like he's better than everybody and wear these flowers and preach about things he has no idea about. He has no idea about sex and love and women and how to have a relationship with women, nor does he have any idea how to eliminate those feelings or those desires or those emotions. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just repeating bullshit that he heard from Prabhupada that made it up, who's this and that. It's all a bunch of crap. And the fact that this guy is going to sit there and act like he's got something to share, not only something to say and something to share, but that he deserves this respect and wears these flowers and he's got this orange suit on and he's just like this holy man is just, to me, it's laughable. It's seriously is laughable to me because I know how these people are. I was right there with them. I knew people and worked with people that were way beyond this guy's realization as far as how to scam people, how to be a Hare Krishna. The people that I knew that I was working with make this guy look like a rookie, like a real rookie. And so he doesn't. To me, this guy is nothing. But he fools a lot of people. He's got a whole audience there that are fooling this guy. This guy's got a web page. He's got a whole thing about yoga for a modern age. And he's going to just give life advice and marriage advice and sex advice or whatever. And he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's got no clue what he's talking about. And I did want to show one other thing, but I don't have it anymore because she's gone. I'm going to save it for another video. But that's what I wanted to talk about. These gurus, or not even gurus, these Krishna freaks feel like they can sit there and talk about stuff that they are not qualified to talk about. Telling people that they should avoid women and that they can control their sexual urges by chanting a mantra is dangerous. You're causing mental illness in these people's heads. And you're giving them false hope that, especially if they're having, let's say someone goes into the temple and they're having, some heavy duty, let's say, illegal sexual ideas. And you're telling them, and they're hearing this guy go, just chant Hare Krishna and it'll all go away and it'll all be okay and develop love for Krishna. And like, okay, I can control my disgusting illegal urges. I'll just chant Hare Krishna and do this. And then it doesn't work. Putting people in the community in danger. Giving this guy false hope and telling him he can control himself, his sexual desires, just by chanting Hare Krishna. Because all issues can be solved by chanting Hare Krishna. That's why these crazy people hang around the Hare Krishna temples. Because they recognize that something wrong with them, and they're under the illusion that if they just chant and go to the temple, that everything's going to be okay. And I've seen it myself. I've seen many, many crazy people. A lot of them is like this guy with his webpage. Where is his webpage? This guy is mentally ill. Now, he does a good job of recording all the stuff that's wrong with the Hare Krishna movement, but this guy's got some mental problems, some real mental problems. Well, they all do. They all have mental problems. But this guy's got some real unresolved mental issues where he should probably be in therapy, maybe even like court-ordered therapy or something like that. But he's just under the illusion that if he just chants Hare Krishna and does Hare Krishna stuff, that everything's going to be okay, and that somehow all this craziness in the Hare Krishna movement, all the child abuse and everything, I don't know, the whole list, the laundry list of crap, right? The racism, the sexism, the child abuse, the sexual abuse, the domestic abuse, everything is all going to be solved one day if people just chant Hare Krishna and read the right books and follow the right guy. That's what they believe. That if they just keep doing what they're doing, and then somehow it's going to fix itself after 60 friggin' years of it not fixing itself, of it just getting worse and worse. More and more gurus causing more and more damage, causing more and more pain and suffering to more and more people in more and more countries. It just goes on and on with these people. It goes on and on. It never stops. But they think this nut, this freak with his webpage thinks that somehow it's going to magically just stop. All this abuse and all this crap is somehow magically going to stop if enough people read his webpage. Like, I'm not delusional. I'm not stopping this cult. I'm just warning as many people as I can. I know I can't stop this cult. This cult's too big and too wide, too many people. Than I can do. But I can warn people. And I've already warned a few people. People have come to me and told me. People have told me, hey, I was going to go to the temple in Boston, but I watched your video and I totally changed my mind. I'm not going there anymore. So at least one person didn't go to the temple after watching one of my videos. So that's what I want to do. I'm just out there putting truth and information out and warning people and letting people know that people like this exist, like people, the crazy people, all these crazy people. This guy, all of them. These people are these people are dangerous, and they harm a lot of people, and they fly under the radar. And that my video here and there, my live stream video here and there. I know I'm not I'm not going to end this thing, but hey, they noticed. They mentioned me on they mentioned me on their webpage, so something's going on. So, but that's why I do this, because these people are dangerous, and people need to be warned. People need to be warned. I know I can't bring the cult down, but I can warn people. I can warn as many people as I can, and with your help out there. We can warn as many people as we can, and all of you, everyone out there that watches, that was in the Hare Krishnas, that knows what I'm talking about, and you can spread the word too, and like, share, and subscribe my videos, and help get that. And I love that you come in and you share your stories and experiences, so it's not just like crazy man yells at the computer. It's a whole community of ex-members and people that understand what's going on. So I want to thank all of you out there, and please like, share, and subscribe my videos. Thanks for watching today. Please have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, and please stay out of a cult and enjoy this closing credits here. Let's see.